Good day. We will be going to discuss the social work in the Filipino and personal value system. For us to understand the concept of our lesson, first, let's break down the title one by one. When we say social work, it was defined as the social work is a practice-based profession and an academic discipline that promotes social change and development, social cohesion, and the empowerment and liberation of people. Principle of social justice, human rights, collective responsibility, and respect for diversities are central to social work. Underpinned by theories of social work, social sciences, humanities, and indigenous knowledges. Social work engages people and structures to address life challenges and enhance well being. The Filipino. When we say Filipino, it was defined as the citizen of the Republic of the Philippines, relevant to the personal value system, which is the principle or a set of principles or ideals which dictate and guide a person's behavior. It gives us structures and purpose to determine what is meaningful and important.
Social acceptance, defined as being taken by one's fellows for what one is or believes he is, and being treated in accordance with his status. Social acceptance can be defined as the fact that most people, in order to fit in with others, attempt to look and act like them, or sometimes it is the ability to accept or to tolerate difference and diversity in other people or groups of people. Isang halimbawa dito ay pakikisama. Every individuals need to cooperate or to treat anyone in a good way. Kailangan nating tanggapin ang pagkakaiba ng bawat isa, respetuhin ang katayuan o estado ng buhay ng bawat isa. Bilang isang social worker, mahalaga na alam natin ang ibig sabihin ng social acceptance dahil sa pamamagitan nito, magagampanan natin ang pagiging isang huwarang social worker. Isang halimbawa pa nito ay kung may lalapit sa atin na kliyente o nangangailangan ng tulong, kailangan natin mag-adjust at makitungo ng naaayon sa estado ng buhay ng tao. Smooth interpersonal relations. Smooth interpersonal relations are core value for every Filipino community. They involve a shared identity, engagement on an equal basis with others, and giving importance to the individual versus agencies or institutions, which is a facility getting along with others in such a way as to avoid outward signs of a conflict. It is believed to be acquired and preserved principally by three meaning. Ibig sabihin lamang nito ay napakahalaga ng pagbibigay kahalagahan sa bawat individual. Maging maingat sa panghuhusga sa nakikita lamang ng mga mata natin. Lagi nating igalang ang pagkakaiba-iba ng bawat isa para sa pagkakasundo at magandang sama ng isang pamayanan. Dapat na makitungo tayo ng maayos sa bawat nakakasalamuhan natin, lalong-lalo na tayong mga social worker. Responsibilidad natin ang makitungo ng maayos sa mga nakakasalamuhan natin, lalong-lalo na sa mga kliyente na lalapit sa atin in the future, at maging mabuting huwaran tayo sa mga nakapaligid sa atin.
Pakikisama. When we heard the word pakikisama, it have a correspond sacrifices. Sometimes you have to give up your own desires just to be with those kind of people you like to be with. Just for example, in choosing or making friends, you have to learn how to socialize with people. If you don't know how to mingle with everyone, you cannot gain their trust and you can't be friend with them. Euphemism. Euphemism characteristic is important, especially to us who are social work students. We must learn how to say unpleasant truth in a good way. We must soften what word we must to say in someone who need counseling. In counseling, we must speak what word we're going to say so that they won't hurt so bad. Go between. Have you experienced being a third party? Between two persons. Go between is not an easy work. You need to have more patience so that you can help the two party. For example, when your two friends fight about something, you have to go between them. You can't be biased to one of them so that they will be friends again. Because if you want bias to one of them, there is a possibility that your friendship will be broken forever. Amor proprio. Amor proprio is another term in loving yourself. When you know how to love yourself, you also can love other people. For example, when you don't like to be hurt, you won't hurt them also. Amor proprio is important to build peace around. You like what Rizal said? Huwag mong gawin sa inyong kapwa kung ayaw mong gawin ito sa iyo. When you love and accept your whole self, you won't be insecure with other people. You can gain courage and confidence to express yourself to other people surrounds you.
Emotional closeness and security in a family. This value is believed to be facilitated through the following: sacrificing individuals' interests for the good of education, even at great cost to themselves, older children sacrificing for the younger siblings, and mothers especially making sacrifice for the family. So, based dito ay nakaugalian nating mga Pinoy na nagsasakripisyo ang mga nakakatanda katulad ng ating ate at kuya sa atin upang magkaroon ng magandang kinabukasan ang mga nakababatang kapatid. Gawin din ang magulang natin kahit napakahirap ibigay ang ating pangangailangan, nagsasakripisyo ito upang magkaroon tayo ng magandang kinabukasan.
Let's discuss the dominant value number 3, which is authority value. The beliefs is that families will remain close if someone exerts firm authority and that such person must be obeyed. Closely related to the authority value is the respect for traditions and rituals no matter how impractical they have become. Panalangin, which refers to blessings or grace or obtained for good behavior, and bahala na are part of this adherence to traditions and belief. The authority value means there are someone respectable and more superior that you obey no matter what they say and what they want you to do, as long as it's not below the belt. The common person that had the authority value are the head of the family, mostly known as the father. No matter what they asked and what you to do it without hesitation, and you are not having dilemma while doing things they asked you to do. But there are times when the person had the authority or the mother, because not everyone had a father when they grow up. The single parent, sometimes they are the oldest siblings or aunt, but literally the authority are those ahead of you or those older than you. As a young kid, you tend to obey them, not because you don't have choice. It was due to respect and love that you had, so you end up obeying them. That's the authority value means. Personalism. This value attaches major importance to the personal factors, which is guarantees intimacy, warmth, and security of kindship and friends and getting things done. Some specific values related to personalism are tiwala or trust, kilala or personal reference, walang pakialam, non-interference. Personalism is an intellectual stance that emphasizes the importance of human person and emphasizes the significance, uniqueness, and inviolability. of this person as well the person essentially relational and social dimension. Trust is important to personalism and tender aspect of all relationship because it requires us to choose to be vulnerable. When we have learned to distract someone, it's usually because we come to understand that what we share with them or what important to us not safe with that person. What is the main concern of personalism? Personalism believes that the person should be the ontological and epistemological starting point of philosophical reflection. Many are concerned to be investigate the experience, the status, and the dignity of human being as a person. Good day. I will be going to discuss the dominant value number 5 which is utang na loob. This value literally means debt of gratitude. It is granted when transfers of goods or services takes place between individuals belonging to two different groups. It compels the recipients to show his gratitude properly by returning a favor with interest to be sure that he does not remain in others' debt. Utang na loob is considered a cultural value which, like many others, have both positive as well as negative aspects. In parent-child relationship, for example, a child usually feels obliged to look after his parents, especially in their old age. This sense of gratitude of a child, however, can also be exploited by parents who may insist on it even at a great sacrifice to their child, such as financially or in terms of family relationships. For example, a wife may not like having her husband's parents in the same house. In their professional relationships, a social worker may go out of her way to repay a favor than to hear by a colleague, and working with clients, the latter would often offer gifts to express their gratitude for help extended. Since we are talking about showing gratitude, isa sa mga common na halimbawa ang pagtanaw ng utang na loob ng mga anak sa kanilang magulang. My previous instructor told us that it is not our responsibility to look after our parents because it's their obligation to send us to school and that's it. It's just our society that shaped us to learn how to return the favor with our parents someday. Kung may advantage, mayroon ding disadvantage, where some parents insist and demand that sometimes a burden for their child. Share ko lang, one time, I watched a famous gay content creator and people called him Ina, a wealthy yet he don't want to have a child as he grow older. He said, it's better to be alone and save money for the future than to have a child as a retirement plan. He may be offended some, but what he said is true.
Patience, suffering, and endurance. This is a cultural belief that a person must before he can gain happiness. Relatively, it is what many still believe. The woman particularly must suffer in silence. The value is akin to fatalism and has religious underpinnings. Many Filipinos, for example, will suffer poverty or exploitation because they think it is a test, and if they pass, the test will be rewarded. The beliefs makes the Filipinos very patient with their situations. Social worker, of course, find that this value is used to advantage by others for their own selfish ends. So, ibig sabihin po nito is patience, suffering, and endurance. Ito ay isang kultural na paniniwala na kailangan ng isang tao bago siya makakuha ng kaligayahan. Kaugnay nito, ito pa rin ang pinaniniwalaan ng marami na ang mga kababaihan, pati particular, ay dapat mag-gusto sa katahimikan. Next is the value is akin. So, yung ibig sabihin po nito, yung halaga daw po ng katulad ng patalismo at may mga saligang relihiyon. Maraming Pilipino. Halimbawa nito is yung mga nagdaranas ng kahirapan o pagsasamantala dahil sa tingin nila ito ay isang pagsubok. At kung makapasa sila sa pagsubok, sila ay gagantimpalaan. Ang paniniwalang ito ay pagpapasensya sa mga Pilipino sa kanilang mga sitwasyon. Ang mga social worker din daw po is syempre is nalaman ang halaga ito ay ginagamit sa kalamangan ng iba para sa kanilang sarili o makasariling layunin.
Continuation lang po sa diniscuss ni Mary Jane, can instances of lack of professional commitment be due to ignorance of the profession values or a dominance of personal, cultural, or some other values? So, ang mga pagkakataon ba ng kakulangan ng professional na pangako ay dahil sa kamangmangan ng mga halaga ng profesyon o isang pangingibabaw ng personal, kultura o iba pang mga halaga. Halimbawa, kapag ang isang manggagawa ay tumatanggi sumali sa ilang mga layunin, ito ba ay dahil sa takot siyang mawala ng trabaho o pagsasapalan ng kanyang buhay? Halimbawa naman po, kapag ang isang babaeng social worker ay lumalaban sa isang out-of-town assignment dahil sa tingin niya ang kanyang presensya sa bahay ay mahalaga sa kanyang kasal o kanyang pamilya. An understanding of values and the many conflicts and dilemmas that stem from them will help us find of coping with them. Ang pag-unawa sa ating mga pinahalagaan at ang maaaring salungatan at dilim na nagmumula sa mga ito ay makatutulong sa mga mahanap na paraan. In addition to cultural values, there are innumerable beliefs, customs, and traditions held by people in our society. The current interest in culture learning in many parts of the world is very helpful and should stimulate and encourage us to make maximum use of what our own culture has to offer that can facilitate or enrich social work practice. Karagdagan sa mga halaga ng kultura, mayroong hindi mabilang na mga kaugalian at tradisyon na hawak ng mga tao sa ating lipunan. Ang kasalukuyang interes sa pag-aaral ng kultura sa maraming bahagi ng mundo ay lubos na nakakatulong at dapat na pukawin at ikayatin tayo na gamitin ng gusto kung ano ang inaalok ng ating sariling kultura na maaaring mapadali o mapayaman ang kasanayan sa gawaing panlipunan. An top resource, for example, are Filipino proverbs or maxims. These proverbs tell us about the nature of Filipino life and culture, provide us with insights into the psychology of our people, and reflect our values and ethics. These proverbs continue to have the force of dogmas, especially among older Filipinos. As late as the 1950s, it could be observed that ang hindi pa nagagamit na mapagkukunan, halimbawa ay mga kasabihan ng Pilipino, ang mga salawikain na ito ay nagsasabi sa atin tungkol sa kalikasan ng buhay at kulturang Pilipino. Nagbibigay sa atin ng mga pananaw sa psikolohiya ng ating mga tao at sumasalamin sa ating mga alaga at etika. Ang mga salawikain na ito ay patuloy na may puwersa ng dogma lalo sa mga matatandang Pilipino noong huling 1950s.
I'm going to discuss the proverbs in social work practice. We had the objectives, the Filipino proverbs in the English translation. First objective, to stress the points the one must work hard to reach goals. In English translation, number 1, there is no victory without a struggle. Number 2, if there is hardship, there is heaven. Number 3, if you want to climb, you must endure the scratches. Number 4, he who plants will reap something. Second objectives, to call attention to need consult with others. In English translation, number 1, he should seek advice, seldom errs. Number 2, he who asks his way will never go astray. Third objectives, to stress the need for unity or cooperation. In English translation, number 1, we can push a heavy load if we all cooperate. Number 2, in union, there is strength, in discord, destruction. And fourth objectives, to support or encourage certain attitude or traits. In English translation, number 1, there is no steadfast virgin to someone persevering. Then we had perseverance. In English translation, for every door that shuts 10 will open. Respect for others. Number 1, respect should be rendered to all, irrespective of skin color. Number 2, excessive courtesy harms no one. Then, you may not like him but do not humiliate him. In patience, number 1, the industrious will not suffer want. Number 2, industry promotes prosperity, laziness brings about starvation. Sense of gratitude, he who does not look back to his origin will not attain his goal. Endurance, durable cloth is not easily torn. To counteract exploitation, there is no masters where there are no slaves. Then, we have the objectives to explain that things or events are interrelated, system theory. In English translation, pain in the little finger is felt by whole body. To point to the need to adjust to people's customs. Adjust to current custom in order get along. To explain the meaning of individualization, the fingers are not uniform in length. Some are long, some are short. Then no two persons are alike. Then we have the objectives to emphasize the disadvantages of spoiling children. He who is spoiled usually lacks good sense and judgment. To respond to a proverb with another proverb, thereby counteracting or neutralizing the effect or force of the former. Be connect with that God has given you. God helps those who help themselves. The good fortune intended for me will come without my seeking it. Though I have good fortune, if I don't exert effort to pursue it, I won't attain it. If it was not destined for you, you won't benefit from it. Save and you will have something in time you need. The shows that Proverbs can use in social work practice not only with people who continue to live by our traditional beliefs, like in rural areas, but even in places that have been influenced by modernism, for as long the wisdom that these proverbs carry is relevant. They can also help interpreting men's meaning of what workers sometimes try to communicate to their clients, but which they may not fully understand. For example, concept of system.
The mention earlier that as long as the wisdom that these proverbs contain is applicable, proverbs can be used in social work practice with clients who do not adhere to our own traditional beliefs, such as those who live in rural areas. They can also be used with clients who live in urban areas that have been influenced by modernism. In our presentation, we show how proverbs can be used to uphold ethical principles and show that they are not always at odds with societal norms. These proverbs can be used to reinforce or enhance the actual implementation of practice principles and ethics with one wants to appear compelling or convincing, such as when discussing the concept of individualization. They can also help in deciphering the meaning of words that staff members occasionally use when speaking.
An understanding of our values in the many conflict and dilemmas they stem from will help us find ways of coping with them. In addition to cultural values, there are innumerable beliefs, customs, and traditions held by people in our society. The current interest in culture learning in many parts of the world is very helpful and should stimulate and encourage us to make maximum use of what our own culture has can facilitate or enrich social work practice. Another explanation in this topic is proverbs are traditional sayings that contain a message of wisdom or truth. In social work practice, proverbs can be used as a way to help clients understand and make sense of their experiences and circumstances. They can be used to encourage clients to take action, seek support, and think carefully about the consequences of their actions. For example, the proverb actions speak louder than words can be used to encourage a client to show their commitment to change through their behavior rather than just thinking about it, just talking about it. This proverb highlights the importance of following through on goals and commitments and can be a powerful reminder to clients to take action in their lives. Another proverb that may be useful in social work practice is a problem shared is a problem halved. This proverb can be used to encourage this client to seek support and guidance from others rather than trying to tackle their problems alone. Sharing problems with others can help alleviate feelings or isolation and provide a sense of perspective, which can be helpful for those struggling with difficult situations. Proverb can also be used to help clients understand and accept the consequences of their actions. For example, the proverb, what goes around comes around, can be used to help clients understand that their actions have consequences, both positive and negative. This proverb can be a helpful reminder for clients to think carefully about the choices they make and impact they may have on others. Overall, proverbs can be valuable tool in social work practice, helping clients to understand and make sense of their experiences and circumstances, and encouraging them to take action and seek support in their lives.
Our reference for this presentation is our very own author, Thelma Lee Mendoza, from her published Orange Book, page 101 to 113. Thank you for watching our time-consuming video lecture. Hopefully, you learned something about the dominant values of the Filipinos. Thank you.